Alien 8 UK.
Welcome back. You found it again. The UFO Files. Broadcasting round the clock on Alien 8 UK. Red-eye listeners, insomniacs, sky watchers, van drivers on the long haul. You're tuned to the only station that stares back at the dark with you. 24 hours, we circle the same old questions. Lights over the north, shadows over the south. Phone lines open, headphones on, blinds half drawn. I got case notes spread like takeaway menus. Highlighters bleeding through until sunrise. Coordinates scribbled on coffee stain napkins from a truck stop somewhere near the east coast. We don't do jump scares here, we do the long stare out the window at 3:33 a.m. when the estate's asleep and the sky feels too crowded. You call in with that voice, half whisper, half there. First time chatter, long time watcher, and the hairs rise on every neck in frequency range. Maybe it's satellites, maybe it's stories we tell, so we're not alone in these flickering terraces and rented rooms. Either way, keep your dial right here. This is the UFO Files. Alien 8 UK. All night, every night, every night, every night, every night, every night. Welcome back.
Signal acquisition initiated. Cross-referencing anomaly archives. Pattern recognition complete. Aether 8 online. Proceed.
Hello. Welcome to Alien 8 UK, the UFO Files, on this wonderful Monday, wet and windy afternoon.
You wouldn't think it was summer, would you?
It's definitely not summer. 100% not summer. So we are now doing this at the early time of 7 p.m. This is every single Monday from now on going forward. That won't change. Wednesdays will remain at 8:30 UK time. Yeah. And the Fridays that we are going to be doing are going to stay at 8:30 as well. There are going to be some that I'm doing on my own, myself and or a guest on a Saturday. They're going to be different times dependent on what time the guests can come on. So fantastic. I am going to be doing another one this Saturday. That's at 4 p.m. But I'll talk about that towards the end because that's something that me and somebody else are doing. But don't make sense to you right now, but it will do when I jump in on it. Yeah.
Right. Telling us something without telling us something.
Yeah, well, it's not that. I just don't want to take up too much time because we've got Reverend Michael Carter waiting to come on.
We do.
So, Reverend Michael Carter has got loads to talk to us about, and he's going to be talking to us about ancient aliens and tech and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to bring him on, and thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you, Stephen, for doing the modding. Hello to Heidi, hello Soba, and Simon. Can't say anything, Nate. My eyes are going, they're getting worse, honestly. Right, anyway, I'm going to bring Reverend Michael on, and then we can go from there. So here he is. Hello, Michael. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Andy. Hi, Andy. How are you?
We are so good. So excited to talk to you about this.
Same here. I've been looking forward to it.
We've been counting this one down for weeks, haven't we?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I want to say a massive thank you to Jen from P&L Podcast for connecting us. She's been doing it with loads of different people, and she's just,
Yeah.
A game is what she is. So, so yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome. So, for those that don't know anything or little about you, can you give us some details about yourself, if that's okay?
Sure. Yes, I am a minister. I serve a Unitarian Universalist congregation here in the southeastern part of the United States. I was raised in the Baptist tradition. I'm a father.
Have we froze?
I am a healer.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and I do some consulting for the History Channel's Ancient Alien series, which we will have a on June 18th. The episode Wars of the Gods is one I'm featured in, which is coming up.
Oh, fantastic!
That's June 18th.
Yes.
It's called Wars of the Gods. We usually do 2 or 3 at once.
Yeah.
But then they have to be approved, and then so sometimes you may do a show and it may not show up because they may say, "Oh, we're going in a show."
Oh yes, networks for you.
Yeah, it's networks.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of pastoral care, traditional pastoral care with people in my congregation. It's a very liberal congregation. And I also do consultation with people who are experiencers.
Yeah.
A lot of people have had these experiences and have no one to talk to, don't know who to talk to, don't know if they can still hold their beliefs and still believe in UFOs and sky people, that kind of thing. So I keep pretty busy that way. I was talking to you guys before. I love to read. I love to swim. I like being out in nature. I live a pretty simple life. We do, and so I kind of enjoy that. No, I try to escape drama as much as I can.
Yes,
I do. Sometimes
we don't do drama.
Oh no,
sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But so that's me in a nutshell.
That is an amazing thing that you offer your parishioners, though, the fact that, they can come to you with experiences, whether it be, UFO experiences or where it creeps into the realms of the paranormal as well, because it's nice to have that inclusivity in that, because some churches can be quite... they don't know how to approach it, do they? So they can come a bit close.
You are right. Now I work. This is my home, so usually I can do it over Zoom, or if people want to come to the house. In church, how can I put it? People will come because they know that I had these experiences and I do it.
Yes.
But I really don't bring this up at church unless it's in a context.
Yeah.
So people may come to me and say, "Listen, I got to talk to you about something." And, I say, "Come to the office and we'll talk." And then they may bring this up because they know it's safe. But my congregation, I'll put it like this. Some people were in North Carolina a few years ago, and they came to the church because they had seen ancient aliens and blah, blah, blah. And they came and they were really surprised. They said, "Well, you didn't bring up UFOs." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is a church. This is the kind of like, this is not a UFO church." And they were a little shocked, But so it's discreet, but it's kind of like an open secret. Now, at the beginning, some people tried to get me fired because they were uncomfortable with their minister being on TV talking about this topic. Surprisingly enough, the board, we don't have a pope or a bishop or a hierarchy. Our churches are run by the congregations, which I love. And the board said, "Well, he's not forcing it down our throats. He's not preaching it from our pulpit. And who knows? He may be right." So I kept my job. But it was a very scary time because I have a daughter in college. At that time, she was younger. And it was like this woman was really upset, and she was like, "No," and she stopped coming to the church.
Wow. Well, I was actually going to ask you, how does the church, how did they react when they found out that you was doing the ancient aliens?
Oh boy.
You kind of answered it anyway, but
yeah. At first, as long as it wasn't a topic of conversation every Sunday.
Yeah.
I do bring it up when it's within the context of what I'm talking about.
When it's relevant to what's being talked about.
But I was pleasantly surprised. I brought it up about a year or so ago, right after the hearings, the first hearing that we had, the Senate hearings. And I just said, how many people here have been paying attention to that? And at least over a third of the congregation raised their hands. So I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
Do you think,
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Has the congregation changed since the disclosure has started coming out? As different people turn up? Because I'm guessing it's more like a community. It's like people in the town or villages or surrounding areas that come. So it's just, I'm guessing it's going to be the same. You see the same faces every week. But I mean, getting new people turning up because of the disclosure.
No, I will get, people will come up to me more openly now and say, "Oh, I need to talk to you." Or they'll say, "I saw you on Ancient Aliens the other night." Or they'll say, "I want to buy your books."
Yeah.
So it's definitely been an evolution.
Yeah.
But it's still that resistance of, if I don't see, feel, taste, touch, smell it, it doesn't exist. There's always that. And in I think whether it's academia, whether it's religion, whether you're always going to find that element.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You're never going to get everybody on board. And that's not what I try to do. But what I try to do is just say, you're not crazy if you've had these experiences. And I try to provide a safe space where people can talk to me and be listened to and not be ridiculed. And someone say, "Well, that's the sickest thing. What are you, some kind of a nut?" No. To listen, non-judgmental. That's what and I would provide that if it wasn't a paranormal topic.
Yes.
Someone may say, "Hey, I'm having trouble in my marriage," or, "Hey, I think I got a problem." You do the same thing.
Yeah. You create an emotional safety for people no matter what their experience is. Yeah. Which is very important and also an amazing gift.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you guys have it. How many times have people come up to you in the course of your life and, "I need to talk to you, Andy, I need to talk to you, Abby," and you listen.
Yeah.
And you may not say more than 3 words, if anything, and then they go, "Boy, thanks for talking to me. I feel great. I feel much better." And all you did was listen. You didn't try to fix it. You didn't try to judge it. You just listened. And
that's what people get wrong sometimes when you go to someone or someone needs to speak to you. They automatically move into fixing mode instead of just being there.
Yeah, because if I touch something, I break it, so I'm not going to try and fix it. But I like when people come up to me, depending on what they're talking about, I'll be like, to be honest, I don't know what to say, but I'm happy just to sit here and listen for you to vent or get out what it is that you want to get out.
Yeah.
But for me to give an answer at the end, you're looking for a miracle, basically.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen.
Yes. I see someone had asked a beautiful question. Have I had any conflicts? Yeah. Okay. It's a great question. And thank you for asking. I was raised in the Baptist tradition.
Yes.
And I love churches. I love any house, all houses of worship. I don't always agree with the theology, but just how we try to create these houses, and they're beautiful. But we know that the source of creation is not in that house. but we try to, make it so in a way.
Yeah.
I like the architecture, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've had conflicts when I first started having these experiences. I tried to fit them in to my beliefs.
Yeah.
And they do fit in my beliefs, but I'm not as orthodox. So it doesn't knock me out of the, I think the Bible talks about UFOs in the language that they were using. So
Which
there's
is what the reference point of the time.
So the Upanishads, so the Mahabharata, so the Emulish. So they talk about it. But I traveled. At first, I was Baptist. And Buddhism I still use. I mean, Buddhism is a philosophy, and you can be a Buddhist and practice Buddhist philosophy and still be a Christian or a Muslim, or because Buddhism is not a religion; it's a philosophy.
Yeah.
But I did travel the gamut. At one time, I did not. I was an agnostic. I just said, I don't know if any of this stuff is true, and I don't know. And then I thought I was an atheist, but I really wasn't. I always believed in something greater than myself. But what happened was I came back to my tradition, but I know it differently now because I'm different now. You use a very liberal. We're part of the Protestant Reformation. We just don't believe in a Trinity, and we look at the teachings of Jesus more as opposed. Any God that was in Jesus, we say, is in us too. That's what he said. So we don't really worship him. We try. If I say I'm a follower of his teachings, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That and Christianity sometimes are two different things. But I studied all these religions and what have you. But I came back to this. I came back different, and I see it differently. And so I remember the Dalai Lama saying to people in a lecture, he said that if you have to leave whatever you are, Christian, Jewish, whatever, to come to Buddhism, he said, okay. He said two things. Don't leave your religion until you've studied everything about it.
Yes.
And then if you still can't find anything to keep you there, then leave. And number two, he said, and when you leave, don't say anything bad about it in the sense of it still works for other people. So just because I'm not an Orthodox believer anymore doesn't mean, it didn't work for me, but it works for other people, and I need to respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. But once you say, guys, ladies and guys, once you say that I believe that I live in a populated universe, once you say, I know I'm not alone in the universe, then you have to question everything. You're going to say, well, then if I believe that, what is God? Is there a God? What does that he, she, it, what, you have to change. Yeah. And I think what people don't want to do, it's a change. It's a change for me to change. No one likes change but a wet baby. And that's it. And for Mr. Simon, no, Islam is a religion, brother. It's one of the three monotheistic religions. It's not a movement. You may not agree with Islam, but it's been a religion for several thousand years. Buddhism, and the Dalai Lama Buddhism is a philosophy. It's a very powerful philosophy. But no, let's respect Islam. It is a religion. Yeah. It's been a religion for over 2,500 years.
Yeah, cool. Right, I've got a question. So there's a lot of stuff on social media a couple of weeks ago saying that a lot of ministers were contacted by government agencies.
Yes.
About the
about disclosure. Yeah.
Did that actually happen, or is that just?
Well, I was asking the same questions because they walked it back a few times. What I think what's more important is, why is it that the only ministers you've contacted, and I got to be clear, it's not sour grapes.
Yeah.
But the only ministers you contacted, all are evangelical. They all live in the South. They all have a very, in my opinion, simplistic view. So it's not so much that were they contacted or were they not. If they were contacted, you're not looking at other religions. You're not looking at other interpretations. You're looking at small town or small city, Southern, mostly men, if not all men, with a very evangelical Orthodox approach. I always find that questionable because I always, when I listen to interviews and stuff, I listen to what's being asked, but I also listen to what questions aren't being asked.
Yes.
How come there were no Episcopalians in that group? How come there were no Unitarian Universalists? Why are these ministers experiencers? It seems like you would want to talk to ministers who had it, but you don't want that. You want a certain demographic because most likely they probably agree with the agenda that you're going to be pushing forward. And so that's kind of
what. Yeah, that's kind of why I asked the question because it kept popping up on social media. It's like, but no, none of these ministers have come forward and said yes, this happened, or no, it didn't happen. It was just clickbait headlines, and that was it. And you wasn't getting anything else from it. And it's like,
what other
religions were contacted? Was it just Christianity, or was it other secular religions as well?
Well, I think those conversations I'm sure the Vatican has talked to people. See, and I don't know what's happened in the UK, but in the States,
not a lot.
What has happened here? Well, not a lot here either. What has happened here is the military has taken over the narrative.
Yeah.
There's no, everyday folks. There's none of that. It's pilots. It's Navy folks. And so that to me is very concerning because what they're saying is we will tell you what reality is.
Yes.
We will tell you. And in our government, there are a lot of evangelical Christians who think that these folks are demons.
Yeah.
So already you're getting an agenda.
You're creating the narrative.
There's a narrative with fear. We want you to fear them because if they're not with Jesus or God, then they're the devil. So you get these ministers who hold the same beliefs. Now, I did hear an interview of someone credible who came on and he said, I was asked to clear up the misconceptions. And he said, these ministers were contacted.
Yeah.
But he said they weren't, he couldn't go into too much. But again, the thing is that they're all Southern men, evangelical Christians. They're not talking to any other that they're publicizing, any other ministers who will weigh in or ministers who are experiencers.
Yeah.
And I find that troubling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not unless you have an agenda that you want to fit.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very selective.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. So you always want to listen to the voices that are not at the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That was like I said, that's why I asked you, because there's nothing else.
No, it's a great question. Yeah.
There is literally nothing going on in the UK right now as opposed to UFOs, UAPs, and aliens. The latest thing that we got was that they found a second Booger spear.
And they found another one.
Yeah, they've not said where. I think it's somewhere in South America, but
yeah,
they've not give the exact location. It's not identical to the first one, but it has similar markings and same side. It's like it's hot on one side and cold on the other, and it's very similar.
Well, yeah. It's almost like dangling a carrot.
Yeah.
I think and feel you can't expect people who've lied to you for 80 years to all of a sudden tell you the truth.
No.
That's naive. Okay.
It's gaslighting.
That's very naive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's always going to be secrets. And so we also have the political layers of the Epstein files. And so we have these distractions. We'll throw out the UFO thing. We got the war going on because they're all related.
Yeah.
The geopolitics and disclosure, it's all related. And so we have a president here fighting for his political life. He's going through this stuff with the Epstein files. Some people say, I don't care about UFO files. I want to see about these Epstein. So, there's a lot of stuff. So he's throwing stuff to see that it'll stick. I just feel that I think a president or any politician, he or she, has to have plausible deniability. Yeah. So I think we're already in disclosure.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting someone to come out on the White House lawn or on Downing Street to say, hey guys, sorry about this, but we've been lying to you for 80, that's not going to happen, especially because people have lost their lives with this.
Yeah.
Well, what about families? What about people who went missing? You don't know, all that smoke's going to come to you. So one politician's not going to do that. But if I kind of spoon feed you, and so for people like us, it's not a big deal. But for the average Brit probably, or for the average person who's trying to make a living, going to work 9 to 5, this stuff is shocking.
Yeah.
And that's who we have to keep in mind. And at the same time, know that there's a lot of politics in this. There's a lot of holding on to power. There's a lot of scenarios that need to be created. And so you'll never get the total truth.
Yeah.
But also I don't need my government to tell me something I already know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I'm not being sour grapes because no one called me, or I'm just saying I go on with my life. I'm an experiencer. I have been for several years. I'm also a parent. I also try to enjoy my life. I have a life ahead of me, and so I don't kind of hang on every word. It'll be wonderful, but I know the limitations of it. But again, people who have lied, and that's what governments do. They lie. Yeah. That's how they stay in power. Exactly. Anybody who doesn't know that is in a dream world.
They're meant to work for us, apparently, but
you're not gonna get all this. Yeah, it's not possible. And that's why you said there's a little bit going on, but there's nothing going on. And that's been going on for many, 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 many years.
Oh, we're just getting spammed at the minute. They'll release so many files to keep us busy. Now, you said something very, very interesting there. And I wanted to, before we get into your experiences, because we can't wait to hear about those, is that you said about ministers that have had experiences. Now, do you guys have some sort of network or a group where ministers can get together who's had experiences and share them between one another and support one another within that?
No, I don't. I want to be clear with that. Ministers who've had experiences, because I'm sure I'm not the only one in the whole country. And so I'm sure there are others, but they can't come out. See, with my denomination, right? I'm fortunate. And that's why I like UUs, because of the liberal progressive view on religion, spirituality, atheism, what have you.
Yes.
But I have colleagues. Well, let's say they're not experiencers. Let's start off with that. They can't come out and say what I'm saying because they would lose their jobs.
Yeah.
They would lose their diocese. They would lose whatever it is. I know academics. There are people who read Hebrew. There are people who read Aramaic. There are people who read. They know what this book is saying. They know what the Bible's saying. But they can't come out and preach that. A, they would lose their jobs. B, and probably what should be A, you split your church. Yeah. Suppose you get half your church says, you know what, Reverend Michael's got a point, and I know blah blah blah, and I believe that, and the other half says he's a nut and he needs to be defrocked. He needs to be medicated and put somewhere. Now you split your church.
Yeah.
I
So,
just
and
didn't know
that's,
if there was a support system for you guys to get together separate from the church and just get together as ministers to be able to share sometimes if
well, that
you have
I've had
something.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I have that. I have a support group that, and there's some ministers from the UK,
Yeah.
but the reason why I stopped going, because they are very, how can I say? I had one minister say, Michael, if what you say is true, I can't believe in God anymore. One minister said, Michael, if what you say is true, I can't go to church anymore. Then you have other ministers who will say that can't be true. And a lot of them are academics and PhDs, but they're in this cognitive dissonance kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, they're trying to let it in, but only to a degree. And so it's the same thing. If I got a group, but people are only going to listen or be open only but so much, then it's really not a group. But yeah, I've been in a group with ministers from around the country and around the globe. And as I said, some from the UK. And it's got to fit into their box.
Yes. Yeah.
And I get that. If I've spent 20, 30 years writing books, writing papers, and now this phenomenon comes in and everything I base my life on is now in jeopardy, I may not be so quick to let that in.
Yeah.
I get that. But you got to put that aside, I think, because this is bigger than just an individual's personal belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when, listen, don't you think it's interesting that the only people that they're only talking about, at least in the States, there's no really religious conversation, and it's all about tech. It's all about weapon systems and national security. They're not talking about consciousness and people who've had these experiences and how it has transformed them, or how you can get a deeper spirituality. They don't want that, because when you start doing that, you can't be controlled.
Yep.
And this is all about control.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And that's why the military and the government will tell you what's fake news. We'll tell you what a UAP is. We'll tell you about that. No, we don't want to hear all that other stuff. And so what about, and there are millions of experiences will tell you, I've had this experience. They're not all bad. Look how I've changed. I'm more loving. I don't chase the dollar. I'm more loving to my. That's not a story they want to hear, because I can't control you. And then you start getting other people these ideas, and now it's a big mess.
Yep.
It's a big mess now.
That's why they'll never fully disclose, because it will open people's consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes, it will create crisis of faith, but there is a way to reconcile that and integrate that within your given belief system. But it also opens up your heart more than anything. It just opens up that heart, love for your fellow man, love for whatever species is out there.
But it's like Michael just said. He said, like, they're not talking about the consciousness. It's all about the tech and the weapon side to it, because that's the controlling bit. That's when they can get the government and the military working alongside each other, and with everything else, like you said earlier, going on around the world, it's pure control.
It is. I mean, it is. And there's money, but I see someone's quoting Ephesians 6. Yeah, Ephesians 6 is true to that, but that doesn't mean every extraterrestrial is evil. It doesn't mean every reptilian is. It doesn't mean that. It does mean, because back then, our ancestors were trying to figure out too. They were fighting the Roman government. They were doing that. They're not fighting, but they were conquered. And they were dealing with, who are these beings? Some of these beings have helped us. Some of these beings are malevolent. So yeah, we're battling. I agree with the brother or sister who just put Ephesians 6 up there. The thing with Ephesians 6 is you have to be cognizant that they're not talking about every being who's who's in the cosmos means us evil, and that's where we have to be careful. We do that with people.
Get good people, you can get bad people. It just all
Thank
depends
you.
on your
Thank you.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And scriptures will tell you that. You can look in the Quran, you can look in the Hebrew, the Torah.
Yeah.
Some of these beings helped us jumpstart civilization. Some of these beings told what these plants are poisonous, these plants aren't. You can use these stones for healing. Some of those beings did that, and some of these beings wanted to keep us so ignorant that we didn't even know we were naked. So you got to be careful but that's what human beings do, right? If a Pakistani man robs my wife and takes her pocketbook and run down the street, many human beings will say all Pakistanis are like that. You see all of them like that. And we do that with each other. And now we'll take that dysfunctional attitude and do that to our neighbors too, galactic neighbors too. It's just ignorance. It's just laziness.
Yeah, and it's creating that stereotypical.
Yeah, but you know why? Because then I can control you. See, once I get you to fear, I got you.
Yeah,
then I got you.
If we're fighting each other, we're not looking at the bigger picture, are we?
No, and it works. It just works all the time.
So do you think then, with everything that's going on, like all the different types of files, all the stuff going on around the world, that all of this could be a distraction as to what is actually really going on?
Yes. Listen, here in the States, we have the Epstein files. It's very damning. And there's a lot of politicians worldwide are in those files, right?
A few royals as well.
I know. And so that's been the big thing here. And so what happened was, to get the Epstein files, get you out of that, first he said, well, we're going to tell you who killed Kennedy. Then we're going to tell you, we're going to do this and that and the other politically for you. Now we're going to give you extraterrestrials. And I'm not saying that we want to hear that, but it's just like throwing stuff. Now we got a war, right? And this has happened all through history. When people start to rise up or they start getting wise to you, what do? You start a war. And so all of these dots are being connected. What is it? What is this? I mean, this is kind of crazy. Now, there's probably another level to that as well. Maybe there's a one world government kind of thing wanting to go on. I heard a professor say the other day on YouTube, he said this. He said, this is a battle for hegemony and oil and greed, the usual.
Yeah.
But he also said, this is a battle for human beings, humanity, their spirits. He said, because once I can control what you think is real, then I can control you. And I don't know what's going on there, but we don't get any information about this war. You really got to dig for it, because I don't think it's going well for us. But journalists in Israel and here, you can get up to 5 years in prison just for using your phone and sending stuff and putting it on the net. I think in Iran too.
You can in the UK if it goes against what they're on about.
That's what I'm saying. And so now I'm going to control what is real. We're winning the war. We're winning this war. And that is very dangerous, and then you throw AI in there. And you're questioning everything. What is a fact now? We can't agree on what facts are. What is real? And so, yes, it's about oil. It's about domination and all that. But I can control you if I can control the information that's available to you. And then you don't know what is real anymore.
A lie that's told often enough eventually becomes a truth, because it's been repeated that often.
So if you don't have a spiritual path, right? If you don't have a spiritual path, And you don't have to the word spiritual, whatever it is. You can be an atheist and have some a spiritual. You know what I mean? I believe that. You know, you have to, whatever your path it is, you have to embrace it. You have to stick to it.
Yeah.
You have to trust it, because when things start going up and down like this, you always have your strength.
Yes.
You always have your center. Because it's going to get a little crazy. And otherwise, every time you read something on social media, every time you look at something on your newsfeed, you're going to go crazy, because there's so much stuff happening, and we got information, but we don't have wisdom.
Yes.
You're not going to know what to believe. And so you have to learn to trust yourself. And you can only really do that if you are centered.
Yes. Yeah.
If you have some type of anchor. And I don't care what that is.
Yeah.
I don't care. What if it could be your religion, it could be nature, it could be, you know, whatever it is, use it.
Yes.
Because this is going to get it's going to get more crazy. And the people who don't have that, they're going to be coming from fear and not love. They're going to be coming at you from they're going to go crazy because they have nothing to hold on to.
Yeah.
And so they're just going to believe everything they're told. And if you don't agree with them, they're
living in fight or flight. So people do horrible things out of fear. Yeah.
And when you, like you're saying, when you don't know what's true and what's not, so you just believe everything, then when someone tries to tell you, no, that's not true, you kind of like putting them down, calling them stupid or whatever for believing that. So then it's going to kick off just for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If the man we call Jesus came back today, because this is what he was doing in the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
He was a threat to the Roman Empire. And we don't have to go to the Bible. You can look at King. You can look at Gandhi. You can look at Joan of Arc. You can look, and you know, you're a threat to the status quo, because you're telling people that there's another way to be.
Yes.
There's a higher frequency than Caesar or the White House or Downing Street. You become very dangerous, you see. And one could argue that would become treasonous. And so if these people came back today with the way our governments are set up now, they wouldn't last long. Something would happen to them. There'd be some excuse to lock them up, because it's about empowering people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so they lived in time of spaceships. Jesus lived in time of spaceships. So did the people in the Old Testament. They're not stupid. But he was trying to say, he talked about his father. But he was trying to say that there's something in you, the kingdom of heaven, queendom of heaven, call it what you will, that is bigger than these people, than these governments. And that is a no-no, because once they start thinking like that, we cannot control them. Once you say, I'm not a MAGA person, I'm not a liberal, I'm not this, I'm a galactic citizen. Yeah. I'm a citizen of the world.
Fully conscious.
And
you
are a threat.
Yeah.
You are a threat. And love is still the most powerful.
Oh, yes.
What's in the universe is the most powerful frequency, because if it wasn't, these people wouldn't be getting prosecuted for it. King, the Gandhis, the Jesus of Nazareth. These people, you know, if it wasn't so, what are you so afraid of that you don't want people to know about?
Yeah.
What are you so afraid of? And this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
In the Bible, in the Dhammapada, you know, the Buddha scriptures, the Upanishad, the Hindu scriptures, in oral traditions of the Hopi, the Cherokee, the Aboriginals, they all talk, the Enuma Elish, they all talk about beings who come from the sky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And influence civilization.
Yeah.
Some of them were bums. They were ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
You know, They were, you know, I'm thinking of the giants that were created, the Nephilim. They weren't the nicest people. They got pregnant, and then you had these giants, and they were doing human sacrifice and carrying on. Okay. Then, but when you go to, let's say we go to the New Testament, the book of Acts, and the angel comes and gets Peter out of prison. I'm sure Peter was very, very, very happy.
Yes.
No one wants to be in a Roman prison.
Nope.
And so I submit to you that if you put ET or non-human intelligence, whatever you want to call it, everywhere you see angel in the Bible, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Now, you gotta be careful with angel, and I'll tell you why. Angel, which is malachim in Hebrew and angelos in Greek.
Yeah.
Angel tells you what the function is that these people did. They could be judges, they were envoys, diplomats, messengers, judges, but it doesn't tell you where they come from. It just tells you what their function was. Nowhere in the Bible does it mention wings. Nowhere in the Bible does it say these people have wings. I believe, and there are other scholars who would, that, you know, our ancestors put wings on them to say these people could fly.
They came from the sky.
Yeah.
To give them,
Symbolism.
to make them bigger and better than what they actually were.
Yeah. And they were enough like us that they could have sex with Earth women. And I'm sure they used in vitro stuff. They had technology, but they could have sex with Earth women, but they also had what we call superhuman powers. So they're interesting characters, but they're not these wispy little fairies, you know, and they just fly around. In the book of Abraham, in Genesis, they eat food. Yeah. They warn you something's coming. They warn you. This is what you need to do. This is what, so they're all in there. I think they are non-human intelligences.
That goes like back to the demigods of Greece, doesn't it? The gods came down, they mated with women. You had like Hercules and things like that. He was meant to be the son of Zeus. And
demigod just means that one of my parents is not human. Yeah. We call them hybrids. Yeah. We call them demigods. Yeah. Okay. That's the same story. It's the same story.
Yeah. Different culture, same story being
same
told.
Story.
Yeah.
Same story.
Wow.
Same story. Native Americans call them the Star People.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You see.
The Chinese had dragons that came down from the sky. We've got flaming chariots, and because it's what they could equate it to.
Yes, and their dragons may have looked reptilian.
Yeah.
Maybe they called them dragons because they were reptilian, but all the reptilians are not evil.
No.
Some of them help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because they look bizarre, which they do, doesn't mean that they come from the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you got to be able to navigate that.
Yeah.
You know, just like you meet somebody who a human being, and you can't quite tell, well, where's this person coming from? You know. You know, what's the same thing with that? Yeah.
We don't project our prejudice and bias based on bad education, ignorance, and just not knowing any better onto anybody or any species.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And so I guarantee you this conversation that we're having, those pastors weren't having.
No.
Definitely not.
They weren't talking about like this.
No, they weren't. No, it'll be like
they're talking about fear. They're talking about fear, and they're good and we're bad, and we want the end of the world to come, and we're gonna have Armageddon, and we're gonna have this cosmic battle. Yeah. Very dangerous.
But we're going to have their technology, which is going to up our profits, God knows how long. So,
See, but I would say with the technology, how do us not know that we already had this tech thousands of years ago?
Look at the pyramids, look at Machu Picchu, look at every ancient structure going.
You can look at those structures, no question, but you can also look at what they don't tell us. My dad was in the military. He was in the Air Force. he worked at Fort Meade, my stepdad actually.
Yeah.
And you know, he was talking about they had the internet back then.
Yeah.
They just didn't. We didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cold
You know,
War.
where do they get this
bunkers.
technology to build a shield, a dome around? Yeah. Where do they get these lasers? I mean, you go back and read The Day After Roswell, right? And he's talking about Philip Corso. Now he's gotten a bad rap, but there's also there's always a little truth in any lie.
Oh,
yeah. And he's telling you fiber optics.
Yes.
We have. Where do we get that? Look at the great leap in technology. And that's the problem. Our spirituality hasn't caught up with our technology. See, it's like giving a baby a gun.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
so if I'm a neighbor, if I live somewhere and I hear these Earth people are using nuclear energy, I need to go down there and check them out. These people are crazy. There goes the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So you know, I mean, you can connect the dots, but also, why do you have to have secrets if you're not lying about something?
Well,
yes, I know. Listen, we all know you gotta have. We all know. Yes, you got secret agents. You got superpowers become superpowers by keeping other people from becoming superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's subterfuge. I don't need to know, but my pay grade. However, if you got all this secrecy, you know, when you watch the hearings and David Grush says, I can't talk about that here, but I can talk about it in a skiff, you know, the secure room. Well, that's a secret.
Yeah.
Why can't you say it here?
Yeah. That's what the hearing's all about.
That's what does my head in with whistleblowers. If you're a whistleblower, you're going to say everything. Otherwise, it's controlled. You've already been told what you can or cannot say.
Right, and that's great because because you know, some of these whistleblowers are sincere. I feel for them, you know, because their families are involved. You know, it you know, it can get kind of hairy, I'm sure. But there's secrets upon secrets. I can't tell you that now. Talk to me in a secluded room. Well, you can almost guess what they're going to talk about by the question that was asked. Yeah. But there's secrets. And governments keep secrets.
So by them not answering that question, straight away you know the answer.
Pretty much.
You don't know the details of the answer, but you know whether it's yes or no.
You know there is an answer to that question. Yeah.
So it's I just don't like the term whistleblower when there is control. I understand what Reverend Michael was saying about the families and all that and friends and everyone are involved, but don't come out and say you're a whistleblower, but then hold a press conference and then have the pre-questions ready, and then you already know, you've already got your answers to the questions that are going to be asked. Anything else gets ignored.
Right, but remember, and you're right.
It's been muddied. You've got actual whistleblowers and you've got, look over here, I'm going to tell you something to distract you, whistleblowers, sort of. I'm reading from the script, but I'm playing a whistleblower.
No question. But remember, for people like us who've put our time and energy and life into this, they're not playing to us.
No.
They don't care about us. They're talking to the average person who has the white picket fence, the 2.5 kids, who kind of play by the rules. You work, you do, and I'm not knocking that, but that's the people. They're not worried about us. If anything, you want to keep it from them because they ask too many questions.
Well, they're looking at the majority.
Yeah.
They're not like you said. They're not looking at us because they're just going to get laughed at, really.
Or
we already know there's something going on.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not thinking about us. So while you and I are saying, but the average American or maybe the average Brit is going, holy, what is going? Yeah.
By the time they released it in the UK, it was around the 2020-21 period. The world was going through several lockdowns at the time. And it was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Aliens are real, UFOs are real. Who had that on their bingo card for this year? No one blinked an eyelid. It was just like, UFOs are real, cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for some people.
Can we go out now?
For some people, no question. But part of that is too, I think, that when you keep people, and I'm saying there are people who, like us, like others, who, we got it.
Yeah.
We kind of got it. Okay. But for the average person who's just trying to make ends meet, man, I don't care about UFOs, man. I can't feed my family.
Yeah.
I don't care about UFOs. I got you. Okay. I'm working at Walmart and working at a side hustle so I can feed, because that's the thing, is to keep you distracted, to keep you. So we can just keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep you distracted, to keep you working 2 or 3 jobs, to keep you arguing over race, to keep you arguing about who sleeps with who, to keep you arguing over if someone thinks they're a woman or a man or not, that's the game.
Yeah.
That's the game.
It's just
Divide and conquer.
mass distraction, and they're playing it to the right people at the right time.
Yeah. And so I don't want you getting consciousness. I want you to know more about your football team than you know about Downing Street. I want you to know more about the NBA than you do about what's going on Pennsylvania Avenue. If you could harness a Sunday football game here in the United States, all that energy, people waving towels and all that, and they get mad if their team loses, suppose you could put that energy somewhere else. That could be. Yeah, but we don't want that. I don't want you, because then you're getting too smart. And when you look at the extraterrestrials, if you look at Enuma Elish, if you look at the story of the Tower of Babel, okay, they're saying it's in the Tower of Babel, they build this tall, and I'm sure it wasn't a building, it may have been a rocket ship. Zechariah Sitchin says the word is Shem. There's controversy around that, but I'm sure that God was angry because they built a skyscraper. But what did they say? If we don't stop them from building this, there'll be nothing they cannot do. It's a Genesis. Okay. So what does they do? They come down and they mix up their languages so they can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well, that's what goes on today. We don't want them coming together, because then they're going to be like us.
Yeah,
they're going to be like us. Oh God, is there Enuma Elish? The Popol Vuh, the Mayan Popol Vuh. They talk about these beings, the gods they call them, and we're breeding like rabbits. We're smart. They created us that way, but it's too many of us, so they want to dumb us down. So what do? They spray a mist. In the Mayan Popol Vuh, they spray a mist on the earth, and it dumbs down the population, because I don't want you to be as smart, because then the game is over.
Yeah. Fluoride in the water, chemtrails in the sky.
And so that's why when you go back and read those stories, I try to, as a minister, I try to draw the link to that's happening today.
Yeah.
It's just the names have changed.
Yeah, technology has changed.
The technology has changed, but that desire to control.
So it's like the food, isn't it? It's not nutritious. It's highly overprocessed, and it's not good for us.
Anything to keep your consciousness on a level.
Yeah.
And this is what Jesus was talking about too.
Lower vibration.
Yeah, Jesus was talking about that. You know what I mean? And that's just not. We can't have that.
Yeah.
We can't have a person doing that. But if we come together and there's so many of us, then what are you going to do? You're not going to kill everybody. You're not going to put everybody in jail, because then you have nobody to rule.
Yeah.
But
then no one's doing the work for you, are they?
Yes.
Exactly.
But until we come together, this is the mess that we're in.
Yep. Right. We do have a question for you, which will lead us hopefully into some of your experiences and encounters. So this is from Simon, and he's saying, does Reverend Michael believe there's a civilization living under our feet?
I would not be surprised, Mr. Simon. I'm at the point, brother. I'll be 69 in July. I must tell you that anything is possible. And okay, that's a vague answer. Let me deal with your question. The Hopi talk about the ant people.
Yeah.
Okay, they come up out of the ground. Some people talk about some reptilians or other, and then the question becomes, well, are they ETs or are they ETs who live here and what have you? But yeah, I believe there is some type of civilization underground, probably up in Antarctica, probably places out in the Midwest of the United States. And that's been, yes, definitely. And I think that's a great question. I just say I wouldn't be surprised because, again, this is my belief. I can't prove that. But there are other people who have raised this very important question. And so what do you do with all that information? You know, I think you have to find time to, you have to discipline your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can go down you can take the red pill, the blue pill, but I always ask myself, now I got a family and okay, suppose there is. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not trying to degrade the question. I'm not saying that. But there's so much information out there. There's so much that you can chase all this stuff. I'm looking for wisdom.
Yes.
Okay. I got information coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
All right. You can go everywhere, but that's not wisdom. That's just information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to brother's question or the sister's question. Yeah, there's probably civilization. There's civilizations up in the sky, but why not? Why wouldn't they be underground?
Yeah.
But not unless you have an urge to unpack that.
Yeah.
You deal
That's
with
true.
it.
Yeah. That is true.
Because you can get caught up in so much.
Oh, easily.
And I'm just trying to get wise. I'm trying to be wise. I'm trying to figure how can I deal with my fellow human beings? How can I be a better husband? How can I raise my children better? Because that's what it comes down to. Yes, civilizations in the sky, the moon may be hollow, it may be a satellite, Jesus may be a hybrid. All these things may be true and you can chase and run, but in the end, what are you going to take with you?
Yeah.
All you're going to take with you is the love you left behind.
Yes. Yeah.
The character you left behind. And then I'm just going to segue right into the experiences. When I first had these experiences, and I wanted to show you the people who came to me. I got other things.
Wow.
Yeah. So we got time, right?
Oh,
I
didn't
know how long we want.
Got the rest of the week. It's all good.
Okay. So we got till July to do this. So my friend, he died. Gene Ashley, most humble person. He was an actor because I had a career in the theater in New York.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that he was clairvoyant. He took a weekend seminar, and this guy was one of the most gifted. He was a pure clairvoyant. Yeah. He saw. Anyway, one day I went to his house to get a reading, and make a long story short, he described the beings that I saw without me telling him.
Wow.
He said, when you come to my house next time, you don't bring anybody with you unless you ask me. I said, I don't know what the F you're talking about. He said, you know what I'm talking about. And then he described them. I had never mentioned it to them.
Yeah.
To him. So, but one day he said to me, because every time he did a reading, I was hyped. What did they say? What do they want me to do? What? And he said, look, first of all, you're getting on my nerves. If they come through, Don't I always tell you when they're here
Yeah.
with you? He said, but the second thing is this. He said, Michael, don't put yourself in a box. There's more to you than just this.
Yeah.
Okay? There's so much more to you. But I couldn't see that. Now, decades later, I thank him almost every day. And by that, I mean, I'm more than just an experiencer.
Yeah.
I named some of the things I did. And I just want people to hear that. You're bigger. It's something that's happened, but there's more to your life than that. So December 28th, 1989, I go to Mexico with my girlfriend at the time. And I was living in New York. I lived there for almost 30 years. And I was an actor in New York. Yeah. And I went to seminary there. When I left the theater, I went to seminary because I wanted to study religion. And so we came back home. We got to JFK. She went home. I went to a gathering. No alcoholic beverages were served. Lots of food, deviled eggs, which I love. And when I came back home, and we lived on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And I said, I kissed her. I'm home safe. I'm going to bed. Now that was after midnight. But I don't know to this day whether I thought someone was in the house or I felt a presence in the room or I had to go to the bathroom. But I turned over on my side and this person was in my room. Ooh, now, he was chalk white. He wasn't gray, but he had that kind of head that curved like that. I asked the artist to put a Buddha robe on him because I thought they were very wise. Looking back, not at the time. At the time, I thought I was going to have a cardiac arrest. And so I'm saying he could have been a she, he could have been a he. But he looked at me. He was at the foot of my bed. If he was 4 feet tall, that's it. Not a basketball player. And so he had on a jumpsuit like a race car driver, and it looked like Reynolds wrap. It was real tight, and he was real thin. He didn't have all the digits on his hands that we have. I know that. Yeah. And around him was a blue light, like the kind you see on a police car at night. That blue. Yeah. And then behind that was this big white light, and my room was lit up. My girlfriend at the time could not wake up. Now, later afterwards, when I wrote my book Initiation and I put that story in there, she said, I remember that night. I remember how scared you were. She said, and I remember seeing these shadowy figures in the room. See, I only saw one person. Yeah. She said, I saw shadowy people in the room, but a voice in my head kept saying, go to sleep, go to sleep. So that happened December 28th, 1989. Yeah. So every full and new moon for about 8 months to a year. So that's twice a month. Yeah. Full moon, new moon. They would visit me. Oh, those folk, the little grayish white people. Yeah. And so, and that was the time they came when she was there, but she worked at night. So they never came when she was there. But when they would come, they would paralyze me. I couldn't move. My eyes would be open, but I couldn't move. One time they showed me a past life. Guess what I was? A monk figure. And they showed me an event that happened, that happened in the future that did happen. I'm talking years in the future. And nothing earth-shattering. I was speaking at a church, had a suit on, that the same suit I had. It was just weird. And I didn't realize it until I thought about it. I said, this is what they said would happen. Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like a validation that the experience is real. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They would always come to my room. And so I started meeting them, seeing they would come in my room and paralyze me. One time they stuck a needle in my head, and I screamed right here where your neck meets the whole that right there. Yeah. And I'm talking about excruciating pain. So I told a friend of mine about it, and she said, you need to talk to these folk. I said, What? She said, I know it's crazy, but they probably hear you now. You got to put some boundaries up. You got to say, hey, man, that's not okay. that's not it.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you crazy? So guess what? I listened. I did it. My girlfriend said, she said, I thought you were crazy. She said, I really thought you were crazy. You were standing in the middle of the living room in your underwear, yelling up at the ceiling. She said, I was so afraid. I thought you were losing it. Next time they came, I can't move. They show me in my mind a syringe. I feel it go into this chakra, top of my head. It's like going to take blood, and you know how the nurses do it? You don't even feel the needle in.
Yeah.
I said, they listened to me.
Mm.
Now, they may not. They probably said, he's a nut. Just do what you got to do and get out. But it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they listened to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? I started, I could get by. I could go for days with 2 or 3 hours sleep.
Mm.
Yeah.
I could, my skin, my nail and hair grew fast.
Yeah.
Much faster. I started being more psychic.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to say it, but I felt more love.
Yeah.
I felt like my heart was so open. And it was easy for me to tell people who I love you. I could say I'm scared. I felt more human. Somebody asked me a question. Hey, man, I don't know. I felt so different.
Yeah.
So then, a couple of times I met these people, these reptilian people.
Oh.
Okay. Now I know this was a he because when he walked in my room, right through the wall, heart attack time.
Yeah.
Heart attack time. And defecate on yourself time.
Yeah.
That's what I was feeling. I didn't do it, but that's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
He
Understandably.
walked in my room, and his mind said, and it wasn't, his lips didn't move, and he was built, and he had like a tank top on,
Yeah.
and he had a tail, and he touched me. He put his hand on me and said, don't be afraid. They all say that in the Bible. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. Why not? Look at the way you look.
Yeah.
I should be afraid. But I didn't say that. I was scared. And he just looked at me, like in my eyes. And looking back, he was beautiful.
Mm.
His eyes were like a cat. They were yellow.
Yeah.
But his little black thing, pupil,
Yeah.
it went that way.
Yeah.
It went, wait a minute. Was it that way? The cats. The pupil goes like that.
Yeah.
Never saw them again. Saw them twice. Boy, that was something.
Oh.
So then boy, I can see him. So then July, sorry, hold on. January, hold on. Got to get my date straight.
Yeah, that's cool. Take your time.
Okay, here it is. I'm trying to give you the stories quickly. 2013, July 2013. I was having a bad time in my life. I was leaving my second wife. I was losing my job, and my biological dad had died. I know it's like a blues song.
Yeah.
It's like a country western song.
All happening at once.
It was rough, and I had a blood clot. I had a blood clot, man.
Jeez.
I got a blood clot. Okay, and I didn't know what a blood clot was because I never had one.
Yeah.
And it was big. It was from my ankle, and then this is all going to connect ankle to the groin area in my right leg. my doctor told me, you drove yourself here, you got to drive yourself to get an ultrasound.
Yeah.
And you got to do it now. Did you drive yourself here? You got someone waiting for you? I said, no. He said, go now.
Yeah.
Because they were afraid if it broke off, it would ruin my day.
Yeah.
So that's going on. So I'm on medication. I had a lot of friends who fought in Vietnam. Don't worry, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
And they were talking to me about what it was like to be there. I said, man, I could not at 18, at 25, I couldn't have done that, man. And they were like, and I don't know why, it was just in my life. I was meeting a lot of Vietnam vets, and they would tell me these stories because a lot of them don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And they were telling me one night about, we were drunk and we were talking, and they were telling me about what it was like to kill somebody, or what it's like people shooting at you. And they were in a foxhole, and you try to get some sleep. Sometimes it's water, and you can hear ingoing outcome. I was like, whoa. And so I don't like fireworks. So now we get to the crux of the story. July 4th, 2013. This way. Okay, so got the blood clot going. I'm taking medication, Wayfarin, Coumadin, whatever. I'm injecting myself with stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get back together with my second wife. They love fireworks, my daughter, and I'm just not a big firework person.
Yeah.
I'm just checking. My daughter said, she just left to go to work. Okay. Oh my God. So it's all this artillery. It sounds like we're under attack or something, but it was thunder, and they canceled the fireworks. I said, thank you, God, because I hate going to that. And you're out there and mosquitoes, and then you're out there longer than the fireworks because it doesn't come on until night. And anyway.
Yeah.
So I was home. Same scenario. I'm lying in bed. I can't sleep. I'm listening to this like I'm in Vietnam. And I turn around in my bed. I turn around like that, and he's there.
Oh.
He's almost as big as my ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got a hoodie on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a hoodie, a cowl, what the monks wear.
Yeah.
He's so built, you can see his pecs and everything through this robe.
Yeah.
He's got a rope belt. Once again, it's what? Heart attack time.
Mm.
That it's what once again. And he puts his hand out, his right hand, and an apple green light comes out. And I watch it. I watch him do this. And I'm like, and it hits me in my stomach. I see it hit me. But I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And then he dissolves like a Star Trek thing. His molecules just went. And he was there. So I called this guy. His name is Preston Dennett. He wrote a book on UFO healings, okay?
Yeah.
I'm in his second book, this story. But
Dolly. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I called, then Preston lived in California. Now he lives on the East Coast. And I called him because I wanted to say Preston, because the blood clot was gone.
Oh, wow.
The blood clot was gone.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I called my ex and my
God.
daughter. And I go there the next day, and they both do this. That's what they said. Oh my God, they healed your leg. Now, I can't tell a doctor what I just told you. They're going to medicate me, and they're going to lock me up. They're going to lock me up if I tell them that. At my next appointment, they're like,
Where'd it go?
What'd you do?
Yeah.
That's what they said. Not what did I do? Like I'm a witch doctor. I said, I didn't do nothing. I took the medicine. The medicine made it go away. They said, no, Mr. Carter, no, come on. No. What did you do? I said, the medicine made it go away. They said, no, we just stuck your finger 10 days ago, a week ago. Because they had to go every 10 days to a week where they'd stick it. And so they kept pushing me. I kept pushing back. And finally, I just said, look, are you happy for me? I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened. But I'm well. I'm well. Isn't that what you wanted? And they said, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we want, they backed up. Oh, no, of course we want that, Mr. Carter. But we just don't know. So he did it. Last but not least, because I know we're running out of time.
Fine.
I did a, at the University of Knoxville, I did a UFO. I was invited to speak at a UFO conference.
Yes.
It was wonderful. And it's the first time I got a standing ovation, which I never got. Not that I live for those things, but it's always, you never know what you're going to get when you go there.
Yeah.
Because people may say, what are you, the devil? What are you talking about? You're a minister.
Yeah.
So I go, lovely time, sold some books, came back. I met a woman there and she sang my praises and she was selling books for me and all that. And she said, I got a friend who couldn't make it. And I told her about you. And she needs to talk to you. I'm like, what? She needs to talk to me about what? She said she has to tell you something. I said, okay. She said, I can give her your number. I said, no, don't give my number out. So she said, and she's a lawyer and a psychic. I said, boy, that is mixing your right and left brain.
Yeah. That's the combo.
I was like, a lawyer? What kind of jurisprudence? Anyway, so
be great on the stand.
I was like, oh my, she's brilliant. So anyway, she says, oh, I'm buying your books and I'm going to buy the CD and da-da-da-da. She said, but just something came on my heart and I got to tell you something. She said, have you ever seen a praying mantis being before? I said, no. I have friends who, I said, but no. She said, okay. She said, are you sure? I said, of course I'm sure. She said, well, I got to tell you something. I said, oh, don't you do it. She said, you're going to see one in 3 days. I was like, you need to be medicated. But I didn't say that. I said, really? And she said, yeah. She said, I don't know how, but this, I had to tell you this. And I said, well, you don't even know me. She said, I had to tell you. So I was gracious. I said, thank you. And thanks for your support. So I was living alone then because I got divorced. We never got back together, so I moved. It didn't work. So anyway, my brother was murdered back in 1995 in a robbery. Somebody robbed him and killed him anyway. So when he died, I could tell when he was around me because he smoked cigarettes.
Yeah.
So if there was cigarette smoke in my house, I would know that my brother was his spirit. Yeah. He was around. And I would talk to him, or I would say, look, Kevin, I got to go to sleep. Or I love you and I hope you're okay, but I got to go, But I knew he was around. So when I got up that night, I would walk, I had to get up, go to the bathroom, go get a cup of tea. Yeah. I felt like, now, wait a minute. My hair would stand on end when I had hair. And I would say, no, come on, this is crazy. Go to sleep. The next night, remember she said 3 nights.
Yeah.
The next night, I thought it was Kevin, but I said, well, there's no cigarette. And that was why I remember said, Kevin, is that you?
Yeah.
And then, but I started getting chills, man. Like every room in the house, it was an apartment that big. But it was like, oh, no. The third night, I was trying to meditate.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go to sleep. But I was getting so tired that you hit that wall. Yeah. So I said, if I sit in the lotus position, I'm going to go to sleep. So I'm going to stay in bed.
Yeah.
And I laid back like this, and I closed my eyes, and I counted backwards, and I was wide awake. It just wasn't working. And I closed my eyes, and I felt like someone got on my bed.
Yeah.
The mattress did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, it's what? Heart attack time. This being is like this in my face with those bug eyes. And I could hardly breathe. I was so frightened. And no great message, no sexy message, just looked at me like that reptilian brother did.
Yeah.
Didn't even say anything. And then, but it did what the Nordic man did. Her molecules just dispersed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I called my friend and I said, you need to tell your friend she's a very talented person, because she was right.
Yeah.
I'm not going into details. She was right. She said, well, what happened? What happened? I said, that's between me and the person.
Yeah.
She said, okay, thank you. I'll tell her. So those are the ones where they touched me. They were in my room. I'm wide awake. Yes, I've had them in dreams. Yes, they've come. And I don't even know if they're really dreams, because a friend of mine told me that if you have a dream, like if I just say I'm dreaming this, but if everything in the dream is in the same place like it is in real time, it's not a dream.
Yeah.
Because they know how to manipulate time. But and so I would have dream. One time I had a dream that they said, come on, we got to go. And we walked right through my apartment. The lamp was there like it is in real time. My plant was there, and we went up on a ship. Then I woke up. So, but these times are like real time, touch, 3D, boom. And I write about them in my books.
Wow.
Wow.
And I went to a psychiatrist,
amazing.
just so you know. I went for other things, but I wound up telling them about this. And they're so trained, I have a very good therapist, and he just took it in stride. Well, he was a mystic too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so he wasn't like so trained that, he was a very spiritual man.
Yes.
He was in recovery as well too. But yeah. And I was in a support group. That's how I met the late John Mack and Bud Hopkins. The late Bud Hopkins had regressed me. I lived near Zachariah Stitchin. We met the late Zachariah Stitchin. He lived in my neighborhood. I had no idea until I found out. So that's how I got on this. Yeah. I'm a minister. I love religion for what it could be. I don't like dysfunctional religion, and mostly that's what we got. Even Pope Francis said, you don't even have to believe in God to be a decent human being.
Precisely.
So that's where I'm coming from, and that's how I got into looking at sacred scriptures and stuff, because I don't care about propulsion systems and back engineering. I think it's important, but my brain doesn't work like that. I look at the spirituality of things, or how does this affect belief? Because once this happens to you, you have to change what you believe.
Yeah.
You don't have to throw it away, but something's going to change.
Your paradigm shifts.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I just ask you about the what you said about the Nordics and the hooded cowled? That touched on an experience that I've had with this one figure entity. I don't claim to know what it is, around the Wiltshire area, and for a while it followed me here when I started having my intense UFO experiences. It would all show up. That hooded, cowled 7-foot figure would always show up. So I never saw under it. I just saw a dark cowled figure. Never thought it was evil or malevolent. Imposing, yes, because it's just like hello,
heart
sort of
attack
thing. Yeah, heart attack time. But I've never heard the Nordics described that way. So that kind of like fits with what I've experienced in 2012, 2013, going on up till now, sort of thing. So,
well, this is what happened to me, gang. All the time, I'm afraid. And I still have PTSD. My wife goes out of town a lot for work.
Yeah.
I'm here by myself in this house. It does, and I know it's not going to help.
Yeah.
I make sure the blinds are closed. I make sure all the lights are. It's just now.
Yeah.
Keep the telly on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Until I can't, man. I can't. I'm not macho. But see, I also want to say at the same time, because more than one thing can be true.
Yeah.
They never hurt me except the time that they did that.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do it. So to me, what scares me, yes, they look very, very bizarre. Even the humanoid Nordic looked bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell that he was from another neighborhood.
Yeah.
Even though he had 2 eyes and nose, and maybe they have a gym on the ship. This guy was ripped, and so was that reptilian. They may work out. I don't know, but my life has been better since then. And I remember being afraid, and sometimes years go by before they come back.
Yeah.
And I miss them. And I miss them, and at the same time, I'm like, is there a different way we can do this? Can you say, look, I'm on my way. I don't want to turn around and you're there. My heart can't keep taking that, man.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not enough data blockers in the world for that, really.
Give me a heads up.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with it. Some of them are lovely. I'm sure some of them aren't. I've had some weird energies in my house that I know did not want to sing Kumbaya or Imagine from John Lennon. They didn't want to sing that with me.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because I know people that don't want to sing that with me.
Yeah.
But my life has changed for the better. My spirituality has deepened, not just because of them, but I was on a spiritual path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before I met them. What's the old thing? When the student is ready, the teacher will come.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'll probably see them again at some point. I'm pretty sure when it's time for me to die, when it's time for me to leave this body behind, I'm pretty sure they'll be there with some family members or something like that. But until then, I just try to live what I believe. I try to love my neighbor as myself. And if I don't, I at least try to get out of the way. I try to be the person that I want to be and treat people the way they want to be treated.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a philosopher at heart. I'm always, I look for wisdom. I love wisdom. And that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. I don't have to prove it to anybody. I don't have to force it on anybody. I go about my day. I don't really talk about this unless I'm on a podcast or if I'm on Ancient Aliens. It's just part of my life now. Yeah, it's just like in the Bible. These people were living. And what these books tell us is our ancestors are trying to tell us this is what it was like to share the planet with these beings.
Yeah.
Because people don't like to use the word, but we were invaded. There's no other way. How else do you say it? Beings from another world came here.
Yep.
That's an invasion. Okay? We were invaded. And so that may be another reason why the governments are we can't control our airspace. It's embarrassing. People can come and go and we can't stop it. I don't know. And these stories, whether they're coming from oral stories from Aboriginal folks, whether it's coming from the Nordic stories about the Vikings and Odin, and whether it's coming from Africa, whether they're talking about whether it's the Middle East, Anunnaki and the Elohim, they're all telling us in their language, the demigods, that beings came here and got involved.
Yeah. And now we're cohabiting.
Yep.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Fascinating. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and maybe next time, if you want to do it again, we could go into more specific places.
Oh,
I've
most
actually-
definitely.
Yeah,
I've already
because we
got
can
that.
go into Jesus,
Yeah.
and we can go into Abraham, and we can go into that.
Yeah.
I can't stay much longer because I got to cook dinner. But
Same.
but I know, and we touched on it. But now we can go right into it. We don't have to do this background.
I've actually got an idea for next time. You said
Okay.
I'm not going to give anything away just yet. Or wait, if you can hang fire once we finish and have a quick chat afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that because I'm going to have to go. But probably anytime in June, you know, we could do it, or July, whatever you want.
July is good.
Okay.
July
Well, let's talk about it as we get closer.
Yeah. So can you hang on? So we're going to end this in a minute anyway, but can you hang on for 2 minutes after we've gone off air?
Yeah.
Just want to run something by you, and then I'm going to do something.
Oh, it's been an absolute amazing pleasure to meet you, Reverend Michael. Really has. It's just been a privilege. It really has.
And we'll talk some more.
Oh yeah,
thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And thanks for the people who are listening.
Oh yeah, they've all absolutely loved it tonight in the chat. They are absolutely amazing.
Oh, real quick. Oh, hold on. You can buy my books on Amazon.com. You can go to my website, which is. What is my website? MichaelJSCarter.com. So you can go there. MichaelJSCarter.com is the website, Amazon, or if you want to write me, you can go to my website, but my email is michaeljscarter@gmail.com. And we can talk that way.
Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I'll put up there. Some of them are in the link. I didn't put your email address on because I didn't know how private it was.
Yeah.
It's okay. People email me all the time.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we'll get that there.
I just don't want to give if it's personal or what have you, so I always keep that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Right, so that's it. I hope everyone in the chat enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it that much, then watch it again. It's going to be on YouTube until it gets booted off. Hopefully it won't, but this is YouTube that we're talking about, so you never know.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Abby. Massive thank you, Reverend Michael, for coming on. Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you to Darren and Steven for doing the modding, as well as Jane, Chiro Sounds. Thank you, new subscribers, and everyone putting their comments and thoughts in the chat as well. So Wednesdays are changing a little bit.
Again?
Aren't they, Abby? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So because we're dropping Fridays, we've got 2 more Fridays, possibly a third one. So we've got this Friday, next Friday, and then what would be Paranormal Pizza for the first Friday of the month. We're kind of like migrating Friday into a Wednesday. We're still going to be doing the UFO Files reality check, but it's going to be myself, Abby, Nicole, and David. So it's going to be the 4 of us. Yeah. It's going to be around about 60 to 90 minutes maximum, just because of the hours that I'm start doing at work now is an hour and a half earlier. So up at 5:30 every weekday. Can't wait. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's not too bad, but anyway, finishing at 10:30 at night is not good. So we've got to condense it a little bit. So that's it. So we're going to be back on Wednesday for reality check. On Friday, we've got Karen Holton coming back on. She's going to be talking about the consciousness of these UFO crafts.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm going to be doing a stream on Saturday, myself and Alex Page. He's doing a documentary on Cannock Chase. So I'm going to be sending him some information over from when I did some filming there a couple of years ago. So we're going to be talking about that. Next Monday, we've got Gary Heseltine coming on. And then our last guest for Friday, which is on the 29th, we've got Soma Ara.
Yes.
She's a channeler. She was on a couple of years ago. She's coming back on. Hopefully, she's going to do some channeling and see where it takes us. So that is everything. Nothing else to add. You can buy merch. It's been in the bottom corner all the way through. All the tier prices are scrolling across the top. I'll just stick this up quickly, make it a little bit more colourful. There you go. Anything from £3 to 90 quid. There you go. That's it. Right, so that's it, because we've all got to go. We've all got to go and get something to eat. Thank you again, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful 2 days. Oh, I'll be back on tomorrow with Festival Then Explained. We're going to be talking to one of the ladies that's doing the charity, that's sponsoring it. With the charity.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Calm. I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Moon. Do appreciate that. Another donation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Moon.
Thank you to the earlier donation as well from Simon. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Have a wonderful thing. I'll be on 7:30 tomorrow, not on this channel. It's going to be a Festival Then Explained. Then we're all going to be back on Wednesday, and I'll keep you up to date with everything else. Oh, right, that's it. I'm out of breath. Right. Please don't go anywhere, you two, and everyone else. See you, if not tomorrow, I'll see you Wednesday. So take care. Wonderful time. Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Signal acquisition initiated. Cross-referencing anomaly archives. Pattern recognition complete. Aether 8 online. Proceed.
Welcome back. You found it again. The UFO Files. Broadcasting round the clock on Alien 8 UK. Red Eye listeners, insomniacs, sky watchers, van drivers on the long haul. You're tuned to the only station that stares back at the dark with you. 24 hours, we circle the same old questions. Lights over the north, shadows over the south. Phone lines open, headphones on, blinds half drawn. I got case notes spread like takeaway menus. Highlighters bleeding through until sunrise. Coordinates scribbled on coffee stained napkins from a truck stop somewhere near the East Coast. We don't do jump scares here, we do the long stare out the window at 3:33 a.m. when the estate's asleep and the sky feels too crowded. You call in with that voice, half whisper, half dare. First time chatter, long time watcher, and the hairs rise on every neck in frequency range. Maybe it's satellites, maybe it's stories we tell, so we're not alone in these flickering terraces and rented rooms. Either way, keep your dial right here. This is the UFO Files. Alien 8 UK. All night, every night. Welcome back.
Alien 8 UK.